Hello everyone, welcome to the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is episode 40. My name is Xander.
My name's Jeb.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We're just cracking open a couple of money bag sodas here, talking all things Kiss. We're glad that you're joining us, so please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like these videos if you want to see more. Jeb, how you doing?
Doing alright. I just got off work, so I'm terribly tired.
Terribly tired.
That doesn't stop me from filming a show.
For sure.
And it never will, until it does.
For sure.
Anyway, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I actually have something I wanted to start off the show with. So,
Fantastic.
Obviously, in the last episode, we did our Creatures unboxing, which was fantastic. That's something that, has been anticipated for a while, and I've been doing nothing but digging through it. I'm still not even done digging all the way through it and getting my...
Neither am I.
Yeah, getting my fill, so...
That was a lot of fun to film, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was great. It was a great episode to film.
But we received something today.
Yes. Via mail.
Via the mail. And I want to open it for everyone here because I'm pretty sure... So we received an extra set of prints of the Creatures illustrations that came in the box set.
Fantastic.
And so you can see Paul there and Eric on the back. Now these actually came from Chris Hoffman. And so, Jeb, do you want to open up those?
I would love to open these.
Pull them out and see what we're working with here, because this is super,
would you like to
awesome.
Explain who this Hoffman individual is?
Yes, so Chris Hoffman is the illustrator who created these illustrations for the Creatures box set. If you watched our unboxing, you might have saw us, we were totally impressed with these and the way these looked, because I was thinking they were actually photographs. And then to actually see them and hold them in my hands, it was like, oh my gosh, these are not just photographs. These are actual, artistic representation or illustrations of the photographs that we all know and love. But these are super, super well done. And so Chris was kind enough to send us a copy of these.
Yes.
An extra print, because we were talking about how we really, really wanted to frame them.
Yes.
And we wanted to frame them, but we didn't want to... Whoa. Now that looks awesome. The one with the Ace.
Was this in the box set?
I don't know. That one doesn't look...
I don't remember, but this is freaking awesome.
I don't remember looking at the Ace one.
You have your box set. Do you want to grab it?
I do have the actual box set.
I don't remember seeing Aces. Now, if this was not included in the box set, then special thank you to Chris Hoffman for I don't remember seeing that. I could have been mistaken.
But the Ace Frehley one looks fantastic.
I know Ace was included somewhere that I didn't expect it. Maybe that was just the tour book.
Well, we're gonna find out, because
he's wearing. You can tell he's wearing the Elders/Killers outfit there.
So Vinny, Eric, Gene, and Paul. There's no
Ace.
There's no Ace.
So maybe I have one of the only.
So we may have
Ace Frehley portraits that was available.
Maybe one of the only Ace.
Unless both our box sets just neglected to put them in.
Yeah, but either way,
it'd be a bummer. But hey, at least I got one.
Either way, that is super, super sweet.
So now there's 5.
Because this was one of our favorite parts of the box set. It was the hardcover book.
Yeah, see, barring the audio.
Yeah, barring the audio.
Barring the audio, and the book was also well anticipated because of how well the Destroyer one was done. But when I saw the photo, promoting what all was in the box set on the website and on Twitter and everything, it had these laid out, and I looked at that. I was like, that is a really cool addition. Just plain white backgrounds with because I couldn't see it very well in high res, but we thought they were photographs.
Yeah.
It was one of the more anticipated things that I wanted from the box set, and so that's why you got the reaction that, when we finally opened it, was like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to see these in person. Yeah. And did not disappoint. They're absolutely stunning. Kudos to Chris Hoffman for doing such a great job, and be interested in seeing what other work he does for, what other, just anything else he does. I don't know if he's just a huge Kiss fan and happens to be...
He is actually a fan.
Okay, cool.
He is a fan. He's been a fan for a while, and so this was obviously something that, must have been really awesome as an artist.
Oh, yes.
To have your work included in the Kiss box set.
It's just phenomenal. I wonder what size this is. Is this looks like it might be an 8x10. It doesn't look like 8.5x11, but I'm gonna get frames for these either way, because I assume that these are gonna be mine. You can frame yours from your box set.
Yeah, no,
I'll give you aces. And
there we go, for sure. No. But no, I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that you can also get an extra set of prints yourself. Because if you are like us and you want to have a set to frame without breaking up your box set, head over to KRISHoffmanArt.com, and he has prints on his website that you can purchase for yourself, as well as other stuff too.
That's good. Well, that's a perfect for collectors like us who, like we love the box set, but we want to keep everything together. We don't like, parsing things out and having our box set all over the room.
Yeah.
That I love as an opportunity if anyone wants to go and buy an extra set of prints. Because, I may have considered, he sent this one for free. I may have bought an extra one anyway. That's how cool they are.
Yeah, they are sweet.
Next time, if I ever get the opportunity to meet any of the members, including Vinny, which I hope I get to meet someday. But, I can see us meeting Ace sometime again. So that might be something I would be interested in getting him to sign and then reframe it with an autograph on it.
Absolutely.
Maybe if I don't feel like getting an album signed or something like that, I think it's just awesome. I love the I think the Gene one might be my favorite.
The Gene one looks fantastic. Can I see the Ace one again? Brilliant. I just cannot believe.
I saw that and I was
may have to keep the Ace.
I was like, hold on.
I may have to keep.
You might not.
I may have. Can I see it?
No. No, of course you can.
That just looks so awesome. So this is...
Yeah, he's wearing the Elders.
And we were wondering how these were made. So these were hand-drawn using colored pencil and ink, by the way.
Which is so impressive.
So if anybody has your creature set, go back and look at these amazing illustrations and start to look at them in depth, and you can kind of see the ink and the different colors. Because you got colors here that don't even actually appear, in a photograph, but maybe because of light or whatever. But it just accents it so well.
I wonder how long...
We've talked about the red light in the back. Oh, it just looks amazing.
Yes, taken from those awesome portraits. And I'd be curious to know if Chris cares to inform us on how long it took to do each one. That I would be very curious. Because I'm not... I don't... We're both kind of keen on art and design and, for me, photography, but this kind of art, drawing and painting and stuff like that, it's just kind of lost on me. It goes over my head. So that I'm just
I was never ever good at drawing, sketching.
I could draw at some time ago. I remember drawing a really good photo of Ace. I don't know what ever happened to it, but this is so awesome. So thanks again to Chris Hoffman. Go to his website if you want an extra set of prints, and you do, because who doesn't want to frame these in the Kiss room, whatever that looks like for you. Support him.
Seriously, thank you, Chris, for sending us these, because these are fantastic. Again, you can go to KRISHoffmanArt.com. And if you head to the music section, it's called Kiss Member Creatures of the Night Portrait Set for only $20. That is crazy.
For a whole set?
For a whole set.
Does he do Aces?
Just the 4.
Ooh, wow.
Just the 4.
Might be special.
But there are others too, not just from Kiss. You see, I've got a Thunder and Shock Me, but there's even Iron Maiden, Dio, Rob Zombie.
I saw a Ghost one.
Blackie Lawless. So ZZ Top, Motley Crue. The list goes on and on. So definitely just go through his website and check out all the incredible artwork he's done. I'm looking at one from Alice Cooper right here. I love this one called Watching You. That's Gene. Check that one out.
Oh, the old school photo with the blood driven out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
So tons of awesome stuff. But yeah, I definitely wanted to open this on the pod for everybody and just to showcase that, because I thought that was awesome. It was already cool in the box set, but to have an extra set is really
nice
cool.
Touch
straight from the guy. And so again, thank you, Chris. That's really awesome.
Yes, and a nice thing. They packaged it well, and it comes in in this cellophane packet, so it's not just some loosely thrown in garbage. It's actually sealed tight like a magazine or something. Just very, very nice thing to do. So thank you for that. Yeah,
they're awesome.
Brilliant.
All right, cool. So we didn't even do the Kiss Spotlight, so it's time to do the Kiss Spotlight. Every episode we start out talking about the music and what we've been listening to and what we've been jamming to. So,
well,
Jeb?
I think I failed this assignment.
You failed this one?
I had one job and I did not do it.
You didn't even listen to Kiss.
Look, since the box set, that's all I've been consuming.
Okay, so there you go.
So I could cheat and say that's it, but since I'm still cutting off of that high, I've almost taken a break since I've just been so heavily into it.
Yeah.
I could say, I guess that would if I had to choose, that's been the only thing I've been really doing.
Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, any disc in particular?
Well, first of all, I need to make one correction.
Okay.
A brief correction from the unboxing and the episode prior to that where we talked about all the contents.
Okay.
One of our probably our only gripe about it was the lack of video. We want video and these sorts of things. There is technically one piece of video.
I did not know that until
included.
after the fact as well, yes.
Yes, I had no idea because I hadn't taken it home and popped it in. But when I checked out the Blu-ray disc, which I have been obsessing over, for the same reasons as how awesome the Destroyer box set Blu-ray disc sounded. It sounds unbelievable. Before I get into that, there is one video. It's the I Love It Loud music video that is on the Blu-ray disc. So when you put that into your Blu-ray player, it comes up on the screen. You can choose which kind of Blu-ray high definition audio you want, and then at the very last option is the I Love It Loud music video.
Nice.
And I thought that was awesome. They didn't have anything really like that with Destroyer. I mean, they could have. I'm not going to say anything about Destroyer because that's not what this is about, but there technically is video. It's not live. It's nothing we haven't seen, but I thought that was a really nice touch. They had room on the disc. Throw in an I Love It Loud music video because that was, I take it the first single in promotion for that album on MTV.
Yeah, that or the lead single. Or the lead track, title.
Yes, but I think it premiered on MTV. That may have been the first Creatures thing anyone heard.
Yeah.
So, makes total sense. But that Blu-ray audio is unbelievable.
I hear it's really good, and I don't have a proper Blu-ray player to actually listen to it on. That's probably the one thing I didn't even get to really enjoy from the Destroyer box set was that Blu-ray audio, because I have a Blu-ray player, but I don't have an actual system or speakers that would properly be able to fully showcase that sound because it's just a Blu-ray player.
I've got a Blu-ray, 4K thing that I hooked to my Marshall speaker through Bluetooth. The Marshall speaker is unbelievable. But I think this one's better than the Destroyer one because we've already had so many remasters and we've had Resurrected and it was hard to be truly impressed. Now it sounded incredible, but this Creatures one is way, way better.
Yeah.
The clarity of the instruments is like it's actually like hearing the album for the first time. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even remix it; it's just remastered. But the amount of data that's in that Blu-ray disc for the audio is like astronomical in comparison to a standard disc. I mean, the resolution is significant. Now, there's like 3 different options, like a stereo, there's like a true HD, and then there's like a regular Blu-ray. I don't know what the internal differences are, but on the regular stereo one, it sounds really good. But on the other 2, the Blu-ray or the high def, whatever, you can tell that they toned the thunderousness of the drums and everything way down.
Okay.
So you'd think like, okay, because every time you hear Creatures, you're used to hearing it that way. The drums are like the loudest thing in the mix. Well, on the Blu-ray thing, if you listen to it, everything's kind of equalized.
Interesting, okay.
And you can hear like the bass. I've never heard the bass guitar on this album. Like, it's as if I'm hearing that for the first time.
Whoa.
It sounds completely different than the standard album. It is a day and night difference between the standard audio.
That's so crazy.
And it's totally different than the Destroyer one. There's a significant, like, huge leap between the standard audio and the Blu-ray audio.
Okay.
So next time you come over to my apartment, I'm going to have you... And you have to turn it up loud because that song... And I noticed this as well. I know I'm talking a lot. They toned all the drums and the thunderousness, and there's, I think, a little less reverb. Apart from the drums and everything being kind of evened out, it's much quieter. So you really have to... I don't know if it's just me and my system, but if anyone else can attest to that, the audio is much quieter, so you have to really, really turn it up to get the full effect, because it's like half the volume of the standard audio. Because I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's some good reason. Some audio engineer wants to inform me. But that was probably the most impressive part of the audio experience.
I need to get something that can play that because I would love to hear that album because the way you're describing it sounds awesome. Because this album is a top 5 for me as far as Kiss albums go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it always has been just because it's, one of those heavy albums, but the way you're describing it sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. If anyone out there has listened to the Blu-ray audio, you've got a good system, and you've really heard it, you should comment below, because I can't be the only one who's like, oh my gosh, I've just never heard the album sound like that, and it's totally different. I wouldn't want to listen to that every time, because I'm so used to the original version, and I want the drums. But I mean,
I personally would prefer the huge thunderous drums, but just to hear the the bass and some of the other parts of the mix.
It's like you're hearing things that, and you're hearing it with such clarity that it's surreal. Just excellent job with whoever engineered that part of it, because that way they don't even need to remix the album in that case. If they can do that good of a job with the Blu-ray disc, then I'm perfectly content with that. So I guess for my spotlight, that would still have to be it.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah. I actually have a few, which is kind of odd because I usually just have the one that's been taking up most of my time, but I actually have 3 today. So the first one I want to spotlight is Unmasked, and I don't know that we, or at least I, have spotlighted.
I haven't. I don't think so.
Unmasked, but the other day I was going on a cruise, going on a drive, and I usually don't. It's funny. I don't usually listen to Kiss on CD. Mm-hmm. I usually listen to Kiss on my turntable or on Spotify.
Sure.
And I usually listen to other bands in my car on CD, unless it's off the soundboard or something special. Because most of my Kiss CDs are actually still sealed.
Yeah.
After a while, I bought all the Kiss CDs again and just kind of kept them sealed. But Unmasked was one that was not sealed, and so I was like, you know what? I have not heard Unmasked in a while, in full from front to back, and I love it. What else am I going to say? I mean, I put it in the car and jammed it the whole way there and back. And that was the first one I wanted to spotlight. And I think Unmasked is an album that I like it a little bit more than Dynasty.
Okay.
Just because Dynasty, this one has a few more songs on it. It's a little bit longer. I think the material overall is just a little bit stronger. Paul's material is the only material I think
really
on Dynasty is strong. Gene's material was actually really, really weak.
It was okay. I mean,
I never really cared for X-Ray Eyes and
I love that song.
What was the other one? Charisma.
And then Ace dominated the last, 2000 Man's great, but the other songs I'm not that big of a fan.
Gene only has 2 songs on Dynasty, doesn't he?
There's no way.
Is it just Charisma and X-Ray Eyes?
I got 2 songs. Look, grab the CD
because Paul has Magic Touch, I Was Made, and Sure Know Something.
And then Ace had 3, Peter had 1.
So there you go, yeah.
Did Gene only have 2 songs? Or it's like,
dude, Gene only has 2 songs.
I can't believe there's a Kiss. I never thought about the fact that there's a Kiss album, but Gene only has
Ace has more songs.
That's unbelievable. How did that happen?
Peter has half as many songs as Gene does.
How does it? Oh,
if you think about it. But that's just weird to think about because Dynasty only has 9 songs to begin with, which is a very, very short album to begin with. But Paul has I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something, and Magic Touch.
All 3 are like 10s.
And those 3, I think, are the strongest songs. Now, I actually like Hard Times by Ace.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's my favorite of the Ace tracks. Save Your Love never really did anything for me.
Yeah. 2000 Man, I always loved 2000 Man, the cover. Stones cover. It's like, to me, that's like its own classic Kiss song, even though it's a cover. Yeah.
I'm not even sure I've heard the original, the Rolling Stones.
It's actually kind of... Kiss didn't really do anything different to it. I listened to it a while back, and it's pretty much 1-to-1 for the most part. That was on their Satanic Majesty's Request album.
Okay.
Sgt. Pepper ripoff.
Jeez.
I'm not going to apologize.
For sure. But no, I just thought that was kind of odd now that we're talking about Dynasty, that Gene only has 2 songs, and Paul has 3, Ace has 3, and Peter only has 1.
Well, and I think we all know why Ace's solo album did so well. They had to really put a spotlight on Ace, but the fact that it, in a way, overshadows Gene, who didn't have a single or anything on there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like Gene really fell off. Like, what the heck happened?
I never considered that until just
now. No, neither did I. It was like
2 songs.
It was like, so Love Gun was the last Kiss album before this.
Yeah.
Because there was double platinum in the solo albums, but it was like after Gene's solo album, it was just Gene's material, which is...
Even on Love Gun, I felt like his material was like that good.
No, I like...
Got Love for Sale is like, that's...
Got Love for Sale is kind of...
It's fine.
It's kind of filler,
it's
too,
like a throwaway.
At the same time. Yeah.
I feel like half of Love Gun is like a filler.
Almost human.
Oh, it's great.
Almost Human is my favorite Gene tune from that album.
That is a great...
Got Love for Sale's not bad. Plaster Caster's just...
I do like Plaster Caster. I like the unplugged version better.
Yeah.
Just like the unplugged version of 2000 Man. But since you put up Unmasked, that's probably an album much like Psycho Circus that, I haven't listened to that in so long that it's getting about that time where I need to, but those two albums are two of the ones that I always go, why don't I listen to this more?
Yeah.
It's just, I can't tell you why I never listened to Unmasked, but when I do, it's going to be great, because the last time I listened to it, I loved it.
One song that's really grown on me over the last several years from Unmasked.
Torpedo Girl. Oh.
Well.
Yeah, it is Unmasked, okay.
Yeah, no, it's on Unmasked, but for me, it's Naked City.
That's a fantastic... That's the best Gene. His vocals on that
That's
song.
what I'm saying. It's like, it's not a song that you really identify with, with Gene.
Or Kiss.
Or the Demon or anything, but the song itself is a really, really good song. It's well executed, very well sung. Again, Gene knocks it out of the park.
Yes.
Speaking of the Creatures box set, I still can't get enough of that one.
Feels like heaven.
Feel like heaven.
I was just getting ready to say, if only the only way Unmasked would have been better is if they took off Torpedo Girl and put in Feels Like Heaven. Yeah. That could have been a single, and that would have been a solid pop record. Full stop.
That song they played in the clubs. Feel Like Heaven. That's a dance tune.
It should be played in clubs now. Here's the Gene Simmons demo from 1982 that nobody knows. It's called Feels Like Heaven, and everyone will still dance.
The Penny Lane demo.
To clarify, so everyone knows what it is.
But no, I love that track, and I love Unmasked. And Unmasked is another one where Ace has...
He's got three
of them again.
Two Sides of the Coin, Torpedo Girl, and what's the other one?
Talk to Me.
Talk to Me. Yeah, of course, that was the biggest one.
Talk to Me is pretty good.
I do like that song.
Talk to Me is growing on me. I used to not like Talk to Me when I was younger.
Really?
But for some reason I didn't. I don't know why.
It. It's it's corny.
And I love the fact that it was on the Tokyo off the soundboard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the spotlight, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
Of that.
So Unmasked is one of the three that I wanted to spotlight. The second one is Hotter Than Hell.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite albums from the 70s.
That is one of the most underrated albums in the 70s, period.
I like Hotter Than Hell, kind of like I like Monster. It's just raw, down and dirty Kiss.
Front to back, not a bad song on it.
I love it. And so that one and Rock and Roll Over, that's the third one. Those two I brought on the most recent cruise and the most recent drive that I went on. And, of course, Rock and Roll Over is a perfect album front to back.
It's a 10.
That one...
That's in my top 5.
That one is... Me too. No, that one is perfect for cruising.
It is. It's a good driving album, not just for Baby Driver, but the whole album just makes you want to go.
And speaking of Rock and Roll Over, they did a show in Japan recently, and Making Love was one that they played live in the set list, which is not one that they've played...
I'm so jealous.
I know. They haven't played that one in any other set list on this tour.
I love
but
hearing
it did make
that.
it to the Japan set list. So
I loved hearing that
was cool.
on the spotlights. It's when Tommy and Eric played, it's freaking awesome. It sounds heavy, so I'm jealous about that. And Kiss just played a massive show in Mexico.
Yes.
Quote unquote 80,000 people.
Either way, it's still massive festival.
Oh, it was huge.
Pantera was there.
Oh my god! Have you seen any of the footage from the new Pantera tour?
What was it? Yeah, I think I watched a clip of Walk.
I'm not like a diehard Pantera fan, but I don't know if they're coming around, but I'd like to go and see them.
Really?
In spite of their insane fan base.
It sounded good.
Phil Anselmo sounded surprisingly good. Of course, Zakk Wylde plays phenomenally.
Yep.
That was cool. So I didn't even know that they played at the same festival. Was Kiss headlining?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So they headlined over Pantera.
Kiss was headlining.
That's the first Pantera tour since...
a long time.
It's been a long time.
At least the 2000s.
When the Dimebag
early
died.
2000s, late 90s. Yeah, Dimebag passed away in the early 2000s, like 03, 04.
Yeah, and he had already left the band.
And he was with Damage Plan at that point.
So he had already left, so it's been
a long time since Pantera's played a show. But no, I saw a clip of Walk. Yeah, Phil sounded great. Of course, Zakk knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the other guys.
Charlie
Obviously Dimebag and Vinny aren't with the band that passed away, which is unfortunate. And I know that's been a big controversy with people, is whether or not you can even call it Pantera. It's like,
it doesn't matter.
I don't know
what anyone's opinion on it is, because it's Pantera the same way Kiss is still Kiss. That's just the way it is.
Okay.
But they got the right guy to do it. Zakk Wylde.
And you
It
still have
couldn't have
Phil,
been
who is
anybody
the voice. You know, Phil is the voice. He's the lead singer of the band, so I mean, it makes sense to have Phil. You still got Phil.
Yeah.
And Zach is just a professional through and through, one of the best guitar players on the metal scene.
We've both seen Zach with Ozzy Osbourne. He never misses a note.
Nope.
The guy is an unbelievable, and he was friends with Dimebag, so it makes sense. It's like, you can't. And John Five's in Motley Crue now.
What's happening? It's crazy.
We had to have seen one of the last shows John Five played with Rob Zombie.
Seriously?
Because right after we saw them in Kentucky, just a couple months back, they announced that Mick Mars was retiring. Good for him. I hope he's doing well. That's all I care about. I just hope the guy's healthy.
Yeah.
I could care less whether he's on stage.
He's a founding member, and it sucks to see. It's kind of like Malcolm Young. It sucks to see a founding member step down, but health is first.
Yeah, better than step down before he dies.
Yeah.
You know, poor guy. And again, they got the perfect guy to do it. John Five is a huge Crue fan, huge Kiss fan. Total professional, but yes. Now going back to Harder Than Hell, I just got a random thought. I remember this kid in high school told me he played guitar, and I wasn't friends with him, but he saw me wearing a Kiss shirt one day, and he goes, "You know what? Harder Than Hell is probably the greatest Kiss album that there ever was." And I was like, I've never heard anyone say that, but I totally respect that opinion.
He sounds very firm in his belief there.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't know.
Out of the Blue said that.
It was a while back, but he just saw me wearing a Kiss shirt and was like, oh yeah. I was like, I don't know if you've heard their other albums, but those are pretty good too.
Yeah, for sure. No, but he's right though. I mean, to a certain extent,
freaking awesome.
It's really good.
To me, it's like not as good as Rock and Roll Over, but it's like they're both tens.
Only because of production, I think.
Well, yes, exactly.
Harder Than Hell's production.
It's got the songs. The songs are there.
The songs are amazing. Obviously, you have the ones that are well known. Got to Choose, Let Me Go Rock and Roll. And the title track, Harder Than Hell.
Parasite.
Which are great, but then you have songs like Parasite and Watching You. Yeah, those are live staples, or at least have been played live several times. But even songs like Mainline and All the Way and Coming Home, which are more obscure.
Gosh, they're great.
Those are great songs. For some reason, I get this certain feeling when I listen to Mainline and All the Way, both those songs. It takes me back to the first Kiss Expo we went to.
Because we heard the Kiss tribute band.
It was back in 2009.
That was a long time ago.
And we went to the Indianapolis Kiss Expo. It was our first Kiss Expo. And I think that was the 35th anniversary celebration of Harder Than Hell.
Right.
And the tribute band that was played that album in its entirety.
Who was that? Was that Mr. Speed?
It might have been Mr. Speed.
It could have been. We've seen a few. We've seen Mr. Speed, Kissed. I don't even know. There's got to be another one in there. So we've seen the Mr. Speed a couple times. They're fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes. And there's been several iterations of Mr. Speed, and they're all good.
Oh, yeah. I've never been disappointed by Mr. Speed.
Yeah, no, they're all great. But hearing Mr. Speed play, the entire album all the way through, I actually bought the album at that expo, too. I bought it on CD. I didn't have a whole lot of money back then. And so the two CDs, we were like pretty much kids, teens. The two CDs that I bought that day were Psycho Circus, because that was our first, and it had been years since we heard that album. Yeah. And I bought Harder Than Hell because it was the celebration thereof, and also Kissology had just come out around that time.
What a good time!
And I had heard Watching You and Parasite on Kissology, both Volume 1 and Volume 3.
Amazing.
And so that made me want to get Harder Than Hell because I wanted to hear those songs on the album. And you know what? I'll be honest. Those versions of Parasite and Watching You on the studio album aren't really my favorite versions.
They're not my favorite either.
Of Parasite and Watching You. I almost wish they kind of would go back and have maybe done different takes, but that's only because the first time I really heard those songs was with Eric Singer, say, on the Revenge Tour.
It was downhill after that.
You can't compare to that.
I was going to say, to me, it's the Revenge Tour.
Yeah.
Eric's drumming is just everything on those songs. He took those songs to a whole another level.
Yeah. But I still love, Harder Than Hell, Rock and Roll Over, and Unmasked. Those are all three my spotlights this week. And before we go any further, I did want to just read a couple of comments from some of our viewers. We haven't done the best job of reading comments on the show, and so I wanted to make sure that, we got to some of that, because obviously in the last couple of episodes we've been focused on Nothing But Creatures, the box set, and everybody else has too, and so we had some comments come in. Unfortunately, the way YouTube has changed the way it displays its users. Everybody has a different name now. So the names are all... Yeah, so everybody used to have their channel name, and now YouTube has switched it to everybody has a handle. and it gives everybody at something, something, something. And so if you haven't changed your at, it comes up with a random one for you.
Interesting.
But, yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. But anyway, so this comment says, my favorite track on the Creatures box set is the instrumental of I'm a Legend Tonight.
That is different.
I thought that was kind of cool because
very cool.
For me, I was more focused on the Creature stuff, not necessarily Killers. And so,
let alone the instrumental of the songs we've already heard, but that's really cool.
There you go. That's what I mean. If you look at the name, that's what it says.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, which is...
And every time something changes on YouTube, I'm like, I don't like that. I want it to go back the way it was before. Someone did comment on, I think it was the unbox, or no, it was the episode we did before the unboxing where we had the vinyl and the CD. Someone, because I brought up that the eyes on the cover of the LP were kind of embossed or indented in, and someone informed me that, because I didn't know, that they're glow in the dark. I had no idea.
Yeah, so the record glows. If you did not know that, if you turn off the lights, those embossed eyes will glow, which is pretty cool. What a great touch. I think the slip mat also is glow in the dark.
And the guitar picks that are included in the box set are glow in the dark. Very cool.
Very, very cool.
The Creatures of the Night theme.
Yes, and that was Rob from Right Between the Eyes who let us know about it being embossed. So thank you, Rob, for letting us know.
Yes.
And then somebody else is kind of like us. Someone says, I like the demo from Gene Simmons' Feel Like Heaven. That's my favorite song. And that one is from Martina Costa, whose name is actually displayed on YouTube. So great.
That is... I hope we're not... I mean, I know someone just agreed with this, but I hope we're not in the minority of that. I hope people are like, man, that... maybe it doesn't belong on the Kiss album, but hopefully we can all agree that song was just really cool.
Apparently, it's been out before
for a while.
Some people have actually already heard that.
I guarantee you.
And we're actually sending me links like, and they've heard this. It's a different version. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, I guess we're just a little behind on the times on that. But,
well, I don't dig too
But that's
deep
the best part about this box set is that, now the masses are getting to hear some things that we never
also,
been able to hear before.
I don't really dig deep into, like, bootleggy stuff. For Kiss. I mean,
surprisingly, you and I have.
Well, you've got more audio than I'll ever have. I don't really seek it out and look for like the most unheard Kiss stuff. If they release it officially, then I'll dig into it then. But I'm not going to go on YouTube and like look up a bunch of, Although you did show me some really cool stuff from the Loft. Audio I didn't know existed. I'm like, okay, that stuff
from rehearsals from '73.
Yeah, that is like unbelievable. That needs to go in the first album box set.
Yeah. So a couple more comments about, we were talking about where they could go next. And so Steve Anderson is saying it's got to be the first album 50th anniversary box set.
Yes, please.
He says in his mind, no question.
I hope you're right.
I hope he's right too. That'd be a sweet box set to have.
I'll pre-order it now.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I get it.
Now, Martina Costa commented again, and says, hopefully they do Kiss the Love Gun box set. A Love Gun box set.
Sure.
That would be great too. Obviously, they did the Love Gun Deluxe Edition, but I wasn't too impressed with that several years ago. It wasn't
groundbreaking.
Quite enough.
No.
Not enough demos, not enough stuff there.
Which makes me wonder when they get around to doing that, are we going to see any repeats of demos?
Good question.
More than likely.
We'll see.
If they do, I hope they do different takes or something like that, because that would just be a recycle of a recycle.
Yeah.
Technically it's not a recycle, but the first one. But I will take whatever I can get, even if it's Love Gun, which is not an album that I listen to all the time. I do love Love Gun. It's got some great songs on it. But I can imagine that with the metallic shiny cover. Mm-hmm. Just any album is going to look great with this format.
I know the way they're treating it with the shiny boxes and everything. It's very elegant, very well done.
I love the way the Creatures one looks.
But if they did the Love Gun one, I mean, think about it. They're including like stage designs. You could get like the stage design for that classic Kiss stage.
Yeah.
And I want to hear some alternate takes of favorites like I Stole Your Love and Almost Human.
I mean, that's Kiss at like starting to be at the height of their career. There's got to be some good stuff they can throw in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That book would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do like a recreation of those 4 was it for Live 2? Those 4 giant posters of each of the members.
Was it the solo albums?
No.
The solo album had 4 posters.
No, those were like...
Actually,
I'm not even sure if they couldn't have been included with the album, because that's got to be a Live 2.
Okay, for sure. Maybe it was.
They're like staged, but they're on stage. Paul's got his
Oh, yes, I know.
That is
Alive
Alive 2,
yes,
right?
yes, Alive 2.
Okay, so
I know what you mean.
maybe
now.
they could tie in Alive 2.
That would be cool.
And Love Gun, kind of do what they did with Creatures and Killers.
Yeah.
Make it Love Gun, but have all the Alive 2 stuff. Put all
because Alive 2 was kind of like the Love Gun tour,
It's
right? Well,
Yeah,
no, there was a Love Gun
kinda.
tour and a Live 2 tour. There was.
Yes, but they were so. It was 1977
It was all
going
77,
into 78.
yeah.
But then again, Creatures and Killers, they put them together without actually naming it.
Very
They
true.
could put all the Japan shows for Alive 2. Put the Lost Alive 2 on the Love Gun box set, because I'll listen to that more than I do Alive 2, because I think it's better. You ever heard
Sure.
the Lost Alive 2?
Yeah, I have.
It's awesome.
It is. I haven't heard it in a while, though, I'll be honest.
Neither
In
have I.
fact, when I first heard it, I wasn't even sure that it was real. I had never heard about it. I thought it was some fake thing that someone uploaded. But no, I was like, okay,
I mean, it's not
for
official,
sure.
but it's...
No, I know it's not official, but when I first, I'm talking years ago,
Yeah.
I was like, no, this has got to be fake. I don't know what this is. But no,
It's a full...
it's a full
show,
concert.
Undoctored. Like, you know, Alive 2's got all this enhancement, yet I like Lost Alive 2 better.
I almost forgot about Lost Alive 2. I may have to go back
It's pretty big on YouTube. I mean,
Yeah, it's still on
I don't
YouTube.
know why.
That's where I first saw it, but I almost forgot about that. I may have to go back and check that out. Lost Alive 2. I can't even really.
I have to go
I
back
can
and
see
Google
the
it.
black and white footage in my head, but that's about it.
It's good stuff. The Lost Alive 2 is cool.
For
So
sure.
much- there's an endless amount of possibilities as to where they could go with the box set. And I'm pretty much like, there's not an album that I'm, unless the, you know what? I think I already know the answer.
Okay.
And the answer is going to be there is none. But is there any album that Kiss could do a box set for that you wouldn't buy?
That I wouldn't buy.
For me, honestly, it might be Hot in the Shade. I don't know what I would really enjoy about Hot in the Shade. Besides the remaster, your smile just dropped. You looked at me like,
No,
that's in my top 5.
I'm trying to think about. No, I'm just trying to
I
like.
feel like that would be a shitty box set. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was not
I
expecting
feel like
that.
that album is already like demos and stuff. What are they gonna do? Just remaster it and put a couple more takes of Betrayed on there? I feel like if they release that next time, I might skip out on a Hot in the Shade box set unless they were including some really cool stuff.
Well, you know what they would do is they would include some live stuff, and that tour was insane.
Okay, that might get me. That might get me.
Also,
but
they
I can also just listen to it on
Also,
Spotify.
they looked pretty good around that era too, so those portraits would be sweet.
They didn't look particularly good.
Better than they did on Asylum.
That's not that. That's a pretty low bar to clear.
Well, no doubt, but I don't know what they could do on
Yeah, is there
Hot in the
any-
Shade too.
But is there any album that they would do a box set for that you'd say it's $300? It's a lot of money. I might forego.
If
this
they
one.
were charging $300 for the Hot in the Shade box
let's
set,
assume it were $300 or the same, like whatever you paid for Creatures.
yeah, I would probably pass it up unless again there's something in it that
Exactly.
is
They'd have
gonna
to
get me to
What would be the wow factor?
exactly. I couldn't think of one.
Unless like Michael Bolton is singing with Paul Stanley in the studio on Forever.
Dear. Maybe they
That'll get
include
leaked
some more
anyway.
Eric Carr demos because Eric Carr had recorded
man.
a lot of stuff that he wanted to get on the albums but never made it. So maybe there's some stuff that they have from Eric.
So we might agree.
I
on
would
it.
take some Paul Stanley vocal tracks, just isolated vocals from Paul Stanley, like "Love Me to Hate You." His vocals are insane on that album. Just give me, or that song, give me the vocals.
Yeah. So I guess our answer is it depends on what is in the box. But I feel like if I were going to skip any
very
one of
much
them,
with that,
I
would love to read the hardcover book because that's been my favorite thing about these box sets. Like I buried my face in that Creatures hardcover book. Just reading about what the tour manager, or reading about what everybody has to say.
That it was a fascinating read. I'm
It
still
was
not done with
fascinating.
it. I mean, from the very first page of that, some letter from like management or promotion or something like that
Said we really got to double down,
which makes you realize
and backpedal a little bit too.
Which was mind blowing, and kind of a instilled some realism in me that it reminded me that it is just a business.
Yeah.
And that whole thing around Kiss getting their edge back was completely calculated and
Absolutely.
And
it was mandatory. It was like
it was. I mean, it was a business
It was a no-brainer.
decision to
Had to be
say
done.
we are going to go back to hard rock. We are going to promote this image. We are going to divert from past.
Everything we've done
Excursion.
in the past, we're done. You know?
I was gonna say we're gonna get, but the fact that it was that calculated. Like there's another word that I'm looking for. That it was that planned, curated, and stuff like that. Was like okay, and this is what this is, and then the stuff about how because they gave Gene and Paul some interview time in the book. Just straight up said Vinny wasn't the right guy from the get-go.
Yeah,
the fact that they just lay it out and say
they said it was
we didn't
all
like
for
him in the
business.
band. It was just the guy that happened to be there. We needed someone to fill this position, and it was Vinny. But we didn't really
We had a
head
tour
over
booked,
heels for it.
we had shows booked. We had contracts to fulfill.
We needed a guy, and I was like,
man,
wow. I mean, it's harsh, but it's just a part of the history, and it matters. There's value to that.
Yeah, no, there is, and it was really cool to hear because you get multiple perspectives. You don't just get Gene and Paul's stories this time around. You get everybody's.
Good point.
You get Michael James Jackson.
You even get Vinny,
who produced the album. You get Vinny. Yes, they had Eric Carr.
Eric Carr's
they pulled some
interview
Eric
before
Carr
he died.
interviews,
Which
were fantastic.
Yes.
And he was honest too, where he was like, "Look,
he said the same thing Gene and Paul did. It was
I like how Eric said that he would take Vinny aside and try and get to know him and say, look, this is what you can expect, and this is what we're gonna expect, and this is how I've been able to adapt."
Tips.
And that was really cool of Eric, I think, on a personal level, because nothing is worse than starting a new job or going into a new place, whether it's like a school or a workplace, and you have no idea what you're doing, who anybody is. And it's always nice to have that one person that kind of sticks their neck out in order to bring you in and make you feel at home. But of course, Vinny's that guy that he's I'm too good, I'm too cool for school. So Eric said that he was not very receptive of it, and apparently Vinny thought that he was going to come in and take charge.
Right.
And that to me was an interesting perspective of the fact that Vinny was. I wonder how much truth there is to that, where if Vinny really did think that he was going to come in and sort of command the ship, be the savior, and call the shots.
It appears to be true, considering all the stories and the fact that he would go out and do those dreadfully long guitar solos.
But I've never heard any stories of him actually confronting Gene and Paul and saying, look,
well, I'm sure it wasn't explicit.
I'm here. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't ever actually know of any explicit thing where he said, look, you hired me to be this person. Sit down, shut up. Let me be the savior of the band.
No one would ever say that because they would be fired on the spot. So
right.
He was probably kind of...
But as bold as Vinny was, I wonder just how bold he was in certain areas. I mean, obviously, yes, he was no stranger to 14-minute solos, dragging them on and all that, but...
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's hard to say, but, the book is there. It tells all sides of the story, which is nice, and that is still a fascinating read. Enjoyed that much more than the Destroy one, just because there's so much less information.
Yeah, no, that was the thing for me too. Is we have so much stuff from Destroyer. Not that it's not wanted or not valuable, but for us personally,
it's we've all been waiting for this kind of stuff.
I feel like my knowledge about the Creatures era is mostly just a bird's eye sort of overview, where it's they weren't doing too great. They needed an album that sounded heavy. Yeah. And they were going through a transitional period, and blah blah blah. They did really well in Brazil. It's okay, great, but reading this book was getting deep into the trenches.
Yeah, which is exactly what we paid for, frankly. Yeah. This is
again, no sugarcoating from Gene and Paul.
No,
it's all real.
They don't sugarcoat anything anymore. Every time they open their mouth about anything, they have that attitude where it's just dude, we've been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
The people still complain, Gene and Paul can't stop bad-mouthing people. I'm they're just telling the story as it happened. It's not they're going out of their way to trash talk people.
Yeah, they can't change facts, and they can't lie, because we're going to know.
Yeah, they should tell it as harshly and as starkly as they can.
And one thing that you kind of made sense was this whole thing has made me realize that, KISS is just a business, and basically Gene and Paul have been just trying their hardest to keep this band afloat.
Doing whatever it takes.
What do we do to be here next year? What do we do to keep going?
Yeah.
And it causes them to make big decisions like taking the makeup off. And
just the next year after the album's release.
Yeah, after that tour finished. They were playing shows in Brazil knowing that they were going to be taking the makeup off in preparation for the last album. It's we're just wearing the makeup just to...
Happened so fast.
Because we don't want to walk out with people knowing that we wear makeup and not wear makeup. It's like, oh, it's just crazy to think about. All right, so the main reason we wanted to do this episode is because we wanted to announce our 2022 KISSmas giveaway. Last year we did a giveaway. We gave away, what was it, a used copy of the Destroyer 45th anniversary vinyl, something like that?
Yes. Was it the colored vinyl or was it the regular
I think it was
vinyl?
the standard black.
Okay.
I think it was the standard black, and then we even threw in...
Oh, yeah, we did, because we had pretty much had an extra copy.
Yeah, we had an extra copy. We also had some extra posters and slip mat, and so we threw that in.
Oh, yeah.
This year, we are going to be doing another vinyl giveaway. It is not a Creatures vinyl giveaway, but this year's prize is a sealed Psycho Circus vinyl.
Can
record.
I enter?
No, because the last time I gave you a record, you sold it. So
and it was Psycho Circus too.
It was Psycho Circus, and it was the 3D
I
cover.
hereby revoke my my attempt.
You're not entering at all. You are banned from
Where'd
this
you get
giveaway.
that? Let's stop talking about that. What's the story on you getting that?
Where did I get
Do
this?
you just happen to have an extra copy?
I do. Yes, I have two. This one is sealed, and so I figured, well, you know what? Maybe somebody out there would love to have a copy for themselves this KISSmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are starting. We will open up. I think. Let's see.
Is
When
this
will
the
this?
2014?
Yes, it is.
The sticker's not on there, but yeah, it's the 2014 remaster.
It is, and Psycho Circus was never pressed to vinyl when it first came out in '98. I'm surprised there was even cassettes released for Psycho Circus. There were cassettes made for Psycho Circus, which I have a cassette, which I was mind blown. Like, really?
There's a cassette in this?
Yeah, they were making cassettes in '98, but so Psycho Circus was never pressed to vinyl until 2014. So if you're somebody who wasn't able to get a copy of Psycho Circus on vinyl, now is your chance. Now, this is not the lenticular copy, the 3D copy that we all know and love. I used to have one.
So did I.
Because I gave it.
I sold it.
Don't even get
And
me
I sold
started. Don't even get me started. But anyway, so this one could be yours, and how to enter is actually really simple. It's free to enter. All you have to do is on this video, episode 40, in the comments, we want to know what is on your KISSmas list this year. Drop us your KISSmas list in the comments, but one of the items on your KISSmas list has to be the Psycho Circus LP. That's how I know you want to enter.
Yeah.
If you don't want to enter, you already have this, but you still want to let us know what your KISSmas list is, great. Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear it.
And don't just put the LP on there. You gotta put other... because that would be too easy.
If this is really the only thing you want, I guess you could, but surely there's something else that is on your KISSmas list. So whatever it is, let us know. That's how we know that you want to enter this giveaway, this free giveaway, is if you let us know what your KISSmas list is. That's hard to say.
KISSmas list. Yeah, say that 5 times as fast.
I will not. 'Cause it will not come out sounding pretty. But leave us your KISSmas list in the comments. Let us know what you want. And if you want to enter this giveaway, be sure to make one of those items the Psycho Circus LP. And then the giveaway will begin on the 11th. So that's the day this episode goes up.
Oh.
Will be on the 11th.
What's the deadline?
The deadline will be the 18th. So this is only for a 1 week period. The week before the Sunday.
So make sure to
before
watch this video in time before it's too late to those who are already
absolutely.
watching it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
share it on. Well, don't share it if you want anyone else to get it, but share it anyway so other people can watch it.
For sure, no, absolutely. I mean, that's the point. Is that we want people to enjoy the show. And what's up?
Maybe I should mention this off air because maybe you don't want to, but you have a couple extra of those slip mats too. Why don't we do 2 giveaways? We'll do one destroy your slip mat because you got like 15 extras of those. The last time we went record shopping, you bought like 3 of them, and you already had it. Okay, Xander doesn't want to give away any of his.
You know what I was hoping, actually? I was really hoping that we would have both been able to get more creature slip mats.
If I go back to that one, we'll see, because
we did get multiple destroyer slip mats.
You got multiple. I didn't get. I got one.
You got one.
You gave me, but you had like 2 extra, and then you got more.
And then I gave someone away one last year.
But the last time we
went shopping, I bought one more. But no, I think this is just going to be.
We're feeling one main prize.
We're going to do the LP.
This one.
I'll throw in a Kiss Army Thing sticker. I have some stickers that I like to throw in.
Are they stickers or are they decals? Depends on how long. It depends on how long it lasts.
Okay, I will say
because the one on my phone is more like a decal. How good quality.
Yes, if you want to know what I'm talking about, it's Jeb's phone. They're huge.
I've had this on my phone for a long time, and it's
So I used to work at a sign
Wow.
shop, and one of the things I used to train myself was our logo, and I used our logo and printed it on vinyl, the same kind of vinyl that you would put on your car. So it's like a really heavy-duty decal. So if you want a heavy-duty Kiss Army Things decal along with your Psycho Circus LP,
To show all
put
your
that on your
friends.
KISSmas list too. No, but
Yes.
but that we will announce the winner of that giveaway on the next episode, and then we will respond to your comment on YouTube saying, "Hey, you've won." We'll have you contact us with your information on a good shipping address, and we'll make sure that this gets to you. But please be sure to have your KISSmas list commented in the comments before the 18th. That way we know you want to enter. And then we will see you next time on episode 41, which will be our KISSmas special for 2022. Very excited for the KISSmas special.
KISSmas. I felt it's the year went so.
It feels
quickly.
like we just did the one
KISSmas. Yeah,
last year.
yeah, that's unbelievable. We'll have our, we might have our KISSmas tree in full swing.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be.
To show for you guys.
It'll be festive around here for sure. But in the meantime, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you're new, and thank you so much for watching this video to the very end.
Yes.
And we will see you next time on Kiss Army Things, episode 41, the KISSmas special. My name is Xander.
My name's Jeb.
Peace.